the gate first dropped on the 2004 season, Chad Reed has been the man to beat. Earning what he thought was his 10th victory in Dallas, Reed comes to Utah amid controversy. Supercross from Salt Lake City is next on ESPN2. It is a picture-perfect evening in Salt Lake City, the capital city, at the base of the Wasatch Mountains as the pits are starting to empty and Rice Eccles Stadium is starting to fill up for tonight's show. This is the THQ AMA Supercross Series and the THQ World Supercross GP from Rice Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City. Hello once again, everyone. Todd Harris along with my colleague Cameron Steele. Well, last week we were talking about the silly season, all these riders changing camps, going to new rides. This week, it's controversy. Chad Reed being docked 25 points. Cameron, what is going on?
Well, after the Dallas Supercross, he's going to keep his win, but the AMA said, hey, we're going to sample fuel in 7 motorcycles. Well, when the results came back, 3 riders were caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Chad Reed, David Vuillemin, and Privateer Tyson Hadsell. What does this mean? They take 25 points away from the championship series. It doesn't affect one event, it affects the whole series, and now Kevin Windham is back into play seriously for a title here.
All right, we all go down to Las Vegas, Nevada next week, the conclusion, and it should be a great battle in the desert in Las Vegas, the official destination of Supercross. Let's take a look at those AMA standings. As Cameron pointed out, there's Chad Reed, 336 prior to the event. Kevin Windham, not very close. Take away 25 points, and things tighten up quite a bit more. Chad Reed, Kevin Windham, Mike LaRocco, and David Vuillemin. Very interesting indeed, and as always, there are 2 sides to every story. We talked to both the AMA and Yamaha and got their take.
In our technical inspections after the races, we do a lot of different technical checks. In Dallas, it happened to be a fuel sample. We took samples from 7 riders. We pack it up and we ship it off to a lab. The lab gives us the results. On Friday, the lab informed us that 3 of the riders had fuel that was out of spec. After discussion with the technical director of motocross, the competition manager, myself, and the race director, we decided that the penalty would be 25 points for each of the riders that were out of specification.
You know, we've been cooperating with the AMA in this rule change, doing the best we can. They suggested a test kit that we buy. We test our fuel regularly. It's always passed using that test kit, so we've never had any reason to believe that it was illegal or anywhere close to being illegal. Unfortunately, the test doesn't give you an accurate number at the end, so there's no way to say that it matches what the AMA claims, but it is supposed to say if it shows up on the test as illegal, it wouldn't meet the requirement. So we've never had that happen with the fuel that we're using. So again, you know, our plan is to appeal it. We've issued a press release to that fact, and you know, we'll just worry about that next week and worry about the race tonight.
So for the AMA, the issue is dead. For Yamaha, they're still scratching their heads. And for Chad Reed, well, he's just concentrating on getting his 11th victory tonight in Salt Lake City. Right now, let's check in with the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Robbie Floyd.
Guys, the points have definitely jumbled around. 40 points, now down to 15. K-Dub still has 2 more main events, and he's looking for a win. But as far as that series championship, he wasn't nearly optimistic when I talked to him earlier today.
I still think it's pretty wrapped up. You know, I mean, he's been finishing the top 3. I don't really think about the points that much because they were so big of a gap, and I don't want it to change my outlook or my goal or what I have to do here tonight. He's already proven that he can fall, come back and get 3rd. So you know, best case of me winning, I'm still going to be a few shy at the end of the season, which you know, actually makes it a little bit harder to swallow. I'd already kind of, you know, sat down and said, all right, I'm not going to be the champion in 04. You know, I'm 40 points down. They'll wrap it up this weekend, and that was okay. I'd already dealt with it. So, you know, you know, best case scenario, you know, let's say I come up a couple points shy. It's going to be pretty hard to swallow for me now.
And so Kevin Windham weighs in on his opinion. This one will certainly play out in Las Vegas. Stay tuned. Speaking of Las Vegas, we got a great battle going down into the desert. The World Supercross GP, Damon Huffman, Heath Voss. Take your pick.
I mean, really, I think right now the power is with Heath Voss. Damon Huffman had it going on. He was tied for the lead. A hurt hand put him out of contention, really, for the race because he could hardly ride. But Heath Voss, you know how important this is? The Yamaha, they have factory suspension and factory tires on that bike. That means he's got the Gucci equipment for this race and Vegas.
As we take a look at the road to Las Vegas, and that's where it all culminates next week in Las Vegas, Nevada. It should be a great shootout. Right now, it is all Heath Voss, Damon Huffman, both men battling because there's a lot of points, a lot of money on the line to walk away with this. And look how close that is. It should be a fantastic event next week. Well, we're almost set to go racing right now. It's time for Cameron Steele to take us around the track at Rice Eccles Stadium, MX Unleashed Track Experience.
Let's get on board with Team Monster Energy ECC Suzuki rider Tyler Evans. He is in contention for the world title. That's a rhythm section he's going through there. Maybe a little triple at the beginning there. The big triple there. Remember, we're at altitude. The bikes are going to be a little bit flatter than normal. This whoop section, skim the top. Some guys going to be third. A lot of guys riding in second gear, which is unusual. A lot of riders electing to rhythm. That whoop section is deep. If you fall into it, it is going to hurt. Ouch. You don't want to get bit by the whoop monster. A right-hand turn across the start line is going to set you up for a lap into another rhythm section. At the end, there is a triple. And you got to jump into this little pole, take a rub, and there goes Tyler Evans tripling. Make a left-hand turn, and then into a last triple of the track, a right-hand turn across the start line. Once again, this is a fast lap time. Off the finish line jump, that's your MX Unleashed Track Experience.
Cameron Steele's enthusiasm for the MX Unleashed Track Experience is any indication we're in for a good night. Here's how you advance to the main event: 2 heats, 4 transfer each, 2 semis, 5 transfer, and then 1 LCQ, the race of death, 2 transfer cameras, giving us a total of 20 riders. That takes us to 250, heat number 1, staging on the line right now as we take a look at our starting grid. Kevin Windham's there, Mike LaRocco, Nick Way, Heath Voss, Tyler Evans, Ezra Lusk, Ted Campbell's in there, as is Tommy Hofmaster. But is there pressure, do you think, on Kevin Windham, or do you think that's just the Windham way of just, whatever?
Well, I'm not really sure. I haven't really been able to figure out Kevin's totally racing attitude, but right now the board drops. Let's see what he comes out with.
Riders out, Carmichael, Ferry, Fonseca, Short, and Tortelli. So the list is still illustrious who are here, but here we go. Number 23 going to the front of the pack. Are you kidding me? It's Lucky.
Kyle Lewis living up to his nickname, which he hasn't had much luck as of late, but coming right to the inside of Windham, and whoa, wheeling through the whoops.
Outstanding. Kevin Windham sees Kyle Lewis go to the front, saying, I don't think so. Lewis hangs in there tight with him, but it's Windham who gets past him. So Kevin Windham goes to the front of the pack. Kyle Lewis now sits in 3rd place as he drops back, and number 93 slides in there, and that's Tommy Hofmaster.
Hofmaster coming with the goods, and he's one of the just good guys of racing. Runner-up on the Arena Cross Series, I believe, and this triple's been tricky all night for a lot of guys in practice just because the altitude. Remember, we're up here, not a lot of run into that, right. But the 250's not having any problem, really, and Kyle Lewis wants to survive here in the top 4 position.
So Kevin Windham way out in front, letting that 4-stroke work for him. Kyle Lewis, that was a great shot. As he goes out there and he runs with the big man, and then Kevin Windham said, I don't think so. Throttled down, and he is now checking out. But right now, Tommy Hofmaster running in 2nd place. Kyle Lewis maintaining his 3rd place position. But here comes 27, Nick Way. He wants a piece of that 3rd place.
Definitely, and these factory guys, I mean, they know that Kyle Lewis is a KG veteran. He may not have the endurance because he's come back from an injury, has been riding most of the year, but if they get up right behind him, Kyle Lewis can ride a wide motorcycle, if you know what I mean.
Makes it tough to pass. Kyle Lewis currently sitting in 3rd place. Tommy Hofmaster in 2nd-year leader. Number 14, Kevin Windham, who was also in 2nd place in the overall championship series. And Windham, it looks like that 4-stroke feels right at home here at 4,500 feet of elevation. It's the battle for 4th place right now. Lewis, number 23. Nick Way, number 27, right behind him. Nick Way, a factory guy, Suzuki, a very talented rider. With all the things happening, Cameron, with Suzuki, Ricky Carmichael coming over, where do Way next year?
Well, the one thing about Nick Way is he is always there. You know what? At the end of the season, he's always racing. A lot of teams don't have guys like that. Tyler Evans coming at you. That's another rider like that. But check it out. Lusk and LaRocco way back in the pack.
Currently, Lusk and LaRocco running 11th and 12th respectively, so they certainly are going to want to make it up there. And speaking of riding a wide bike, is there anyone harder to pass than Mike LaRocco?
Well, you definitely don't want to get too close to Iron Mike. You know, he can give you a little push if he needs to. But the one thing I really noticed about Mike is no matter where he's holding the position or what he's doing, he's usually pretty clean about it. He can throw his weight around. He's a tough guy, and he can really throw some block passes, but he doesn't. You see these guys trying to work through the pack. Look at all the traffic right there. Ted Campbell not able to get the triple. Lusk having to pull up as well, and LaRocco coming up on the inside of both of them.
Mike LaRocco, number 5 on board the Honda, taking an inside line as he moves ahead of number 77. So the Rock is on the move, getting past Ted Campbell as we go back to the front of the pack. Your leader, Kevin Windham, making it look easy here in Salt Lake City, Utah. We're halfway home. 250, heat number 1. Rice Eccles Stadium, our host, at 4,500 feet of elevation. Stay with us. Much more 250 racing after this. Supercross on ESPN2 is brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. By MX Unleashed, available now for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. Welcome back to Rice Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is 250 heat number 1. Your leader right now is Kevin Windham with Tommy Hofmaster in second. Nick Way has now moved up to third. Thomas sits in fourth, and Kyle Lewis, who got the whole shot, has now slid back to fifth.
What's amazing is how tight this battle is going on right here. LaRocco finally got by the guys. You see him tripling into that corner. Such a technical jump. You really have to stretch. And the top where they're jumping out of gets cupped out, and there's some ruts up there. The track here is really interesting. A lot of rain over the week. It dried out, and they started watering. So you got gooey spots, you got dry spots, and then you got just outright slippery.
We're watching Mike LaRocco right now, currently running in 9th place. That is out of a transfer position. The top 4 go on, transferring to the main automatically. For everyone else is on to a semifinal. It's 5 through 20, and right now LaRocco not in a position he's used to beating, with Esper Lusk right behind him.
And those whoops, you just saw Lusk going through. A lot of guys having a lot of trouble with that. You know, some people are trying to skim them, and others, they start to skim, they fall in. They are deep, and they are wide. And the other thing is there's no run into them. Come right out of the corner.
Especially this section right here. It's a really quick run into that triple. Mike LaRocco trying to get a run, grabbing some brakes. Here he goes to the inside line, and Ezra Lusk has stalled out, went past to him, so Ezra Lusk is dropping off the table. But this is the battle for second. Nick Way on your right, number 27 on the Suzuki, gets past number 93, Tommy Hofmaster.
Just gets the inside line after that triple, takes it and keeps it. Real clean pass. You know, I think Hofmaster tried to come back quickly there in that corner, but obviously Nick Way quite a bit faster.
Nick Way on board the Suzuki, very talented rider, indeed, as we've talked about, out of DeWitt, Michigan on the Suzuki RM250, American Suzuki Motor Corps, and Dunlop, his main sponsors. Right now, Nick Way's going to have a very nice pick. I don't think he's going to track down Kevin Windham because we are on the final lap, but Nick Way's going to have a great pick when it comes to the main event, Cameron.
Well, right here you're taking a look from Tyler Evans on board, and he's got a battle there. He's trying to catch Jason Thomas for the transfer spot. Oh, actually, he is up in 4th place. You see now with the new scoring after they went through the start-finish area.
Tommy Hofmaster slid back all the way from 2nd to 5th, so an unfortunate final lap for him as Kevin Windham makes one more turn, and Kevin Windham to the front of the pack picks up the victory with a huge whip for the fans here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I don't want to say he's trying to make a statement here, but as we look at Tyler Evans bringing the rest of the pack home, comes up a little bit short right there. Evans will bring it through, and here's Tyler Evans trying to land that big sponsor will get him maybe on a factory ride next year, who knows, but the kid certainly has the talent.
He for sure does, and I know some of the factories look at it, tripling into that corner. We've been talking about that all night, and he's wearing the helmet cam for us. He's got on the side of the bike your logo here. He's just trying to do anything he can. Well-spoken, good guy, and he's got a lot of attitude and a lot of style, too.
And he will transfer as well. So Evans is in there with the helmet cam. We always like when that happens. Kevin Windham makes a victory lap, and a well-deserved lap indeed. 250 heat number 1 comes to a conclusion as we take a look at the official results. Your winner, Kevin Windham, Nick Wade, Jason Thomas, and Tyler Evans, all transferring. Iron Mike LaRocco with a great run, only comes up to 5th, so he'll have to go to a semifinal. Right now, let's send it down to Robbie Floyd.
Congratulations on that heat race win out there, KW. You made it look so easy. You were lapping riders in your heat race. You said you weren't worried about the championship. You just wanted to win, and you're well on your way.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I can do tonight is just worry about getting this Honda 450 up on the top spot of the podium. Be getting some seconds. I want to finish up the season with some wins and have a good outdoor season. Felt great tonight. Bike's working awesome.
How about these fast lap times? I mean, you're catching up to guys fast, and that could be a detriment when it comes time for the main event.
Yeah, it can. You got to pick and choose your way around them, and I definitely don't want to lose any time to Chad if I happen to be in the front on a lap rider. So I gotta get to him fast if I'm having to be in that position.
Good run.
It's never too early to plan for the new Supercross season. The 7th annual Maxxis US Open is only a few months away, and as always, the MGM Grand in Las Vegas is the official destination for the sport's richest event. This October 8th to the 10th, all of your favorite stars are expected to be on hand on their new rides for 2005. Ricky Carmichael, Chad Reed, and will we see James Stewart on a 250? 250 heat number 2 staging on the line here at Salt Lake City. As we take a look at the grid, Chad Reed, David Vuillemin, Michael Byrne, Damon Huffman, Sean Hamlin's out there as the Ryan Clark, Eric Vallejo back to entry, and Jimmy Wilson and Tyson Hadsell. So the 3 offenders on the Yamaha team, Cameron Hall lumped in here at 250 heat number 2, and I think you made a good point earlier. Most of these guys never put gas in their own bike. It's all taken care of. They don't clean the air filters. They don't do that, and they're just given a bike to ride, and that's what they ride.
And the one other thing I want to point out is that we really don't know what the total infraction was. No one's saying how much of this or how much of that, so you've got to wait for it all to clean up and find out what's really going on.
250 heat number 2 off the line to the front of the pack. Michael Byrne gets a great run, but look at Damon Huffman. Energized into the outside, number 20. The Diesel to the front of the pack.
And the story here with Huffman is he's got to make it to the main event if Heath Voss does to keep himself in contention for those world points before we go to Las Vegas. And he's got some company right behind him, so he'd love to get right through. But, Vuillemin right to the inside.
David Vuillemin with a beautiful move to the inside. So number 12, Vuillemin on board his Yamaha, goes to the inside and will take the lead. Huffman coming right back. Huffman sitting in second. Chad Reed sits in third, maybe not for long. And then Anderson brings up 4th right now. Those who transfer position, Reed now goes to second.
He had the line, just took it clean, smooth. He didn't even triple into that corner, which I thought he was going to do to really push it, but played it safe. He knows he's in a qualifying position, and now let's see if he can run down his teammate, who's actually looked really good at practice all day.
David Vuillemin out in front, number 12. They call him the Cobra right now. Chad Reed is on the gas, and it's legit gas this time. And this is one guy I want to talk about. I think Chad Reed has some integrity. I don't think it's something he would ever do to bring any kind of black mark on the sport. I think it's just a mishap. It's something that happened to be in his bike, and so there you go. There you see the arrows next to Anderson. He's currently in a transfer position. So your top 4 right now who are transferring: Vuillemin, Reed, Huffman, and Anderson.
And Michael Byrne just on the outside there. So, what's Reed pointing at the crowd? What was that?
Unbelievable. Right now, let's check in with more on the fuel controversy and Robbie Floyd.
Well, guys, we talked about the unleaded fuel. It was a new rule for 2004. It was a compromise between the AMA, the American Motorcycle Association, Clear Channel Motorsports, and the FIM, or DORNA. Now they're all copacetic. For them to all get together, they said you have to run unleaded fuel. That was the rule. Everybody's supposed to do it. But again, that was the problem. 3 guys evidently weren't.
Maybe the memo didn't get passed down to those guys and their mechanics and the chief crew, but Cameron from the left, it is what it is. And look at this. What a pass! Chad Reed gambles all and comes up snake eyes. 22 goes to the front of the pack, right past Vuillemin.
Well, I know all the people at VP Racing Fuels have been making different fuels, trying to really come together with this AMA rule, and they've done a great job. The 2-strokes running great, even though they're not on the fuel they wanted to be on. So big props to them for doing that. And right now, I don't think any fuel is slowing down those 2 guys in front.
Well, Damon Huffman has just yielded up another position. Michael Byrne goes past him, so Huffman has got to stay right there. He's got Sean Hamlin coming up behind him, but Huffman, as Cameron pointed out, needs to make it into the main event, or that's going to give Heath Voss enough points to clinch. So Damon Huffman in the battle for his life right here, trying to make it in the main and stay alive for that World Supercross GP point standing, the prestige, the title, and all the money that goes along with it. When we come back, much more of the 250 heat number 2 from Salt Lake City in a moment. just a moment. Right now, it's time for Honda's All Access. We all know him as Fish, but Brett Kindleberger of Scott USA took us on the road from Dallas to Salt Lake City with a minor stop in Denver for a trade show. It's a traveling carnival, and we jumped on board with the Fish. Racing from Salt Lake City. Well done, Fish. We are back to Rice Eccles Stadium in Salt Lake City, Utah. This is 250 Supercross Racing. We're in heat number 2, and right now your leader, number 22, Chad Reed, being followed by David Vuillemin, Michael Byrne, and Damon Huffman right now in the transfer position. In 5th on the outside looking in is Sean Hamlin, number 36, on board the Suzuki.
And we're checking out this battle right here for the transfer position. Let's remember that Damon Huffman has not been riding. He didn't ride before last week's event. He didn't ride before this week's event because his hand was with the cheese grater all ripped up. He says it's feeling better, but still really sore.
The time Damon Huffman could use a week off. Not the case. We are coming down. This is the penultimate event in the Supercross Series. Next week, we finalize everything in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it looks like right now, Sean Hamlin on board of Suzuki is going to try to put a final nail in the coffin of Damon Huffman.
Well, you can see Hamlin looking for some different lines there. He actually came up short on the triple, which obviously is going to take some momentum. But let's watch Hamlin. See him going out to the right here, trying to do some... Oh, and you see that. That section has been tricky for a lot of guys. You can't triple into it. So you got to either roll double-double or roll skip off the top of one. And right there, it almost bit Sean Hamlin. He could not grab the throttle and go for the triple. It would have been disastrous.
High risk, high reward for Sean Hamlin, and he came up right there with inches away from going over the bars and ending his night. So Damon Huffman has a little bit more breathing room with 2 laps to go, but keep your eye on this battle because here comes Sean Hamlin again, number 36 on board the Suzuki. Hamlin has been showing it all night out of Murrieta, California. American Suzuki Motor Corps and Dunlop, his sponsors.
And again, a little bit short there on the triple for Hamlin. Not sure if he just has a different line going into it and there's a little bit of a rut or a stutter.
So it's Hamlin.
Oh, and Huffman. Huffman having problems there going into that triple base. Still goes for it, but the run is with Hamlin. Now here comes Huffman again.
Huffman to the inside. Does he have the run? Yes, he does. He gets it right back. So Damon Huffman, despite having physical ailments, is putting on a great show right now. Sean Hamlin trying to come right back. And Cameron, we got just under 2 laps to go, and Damon Huffman is not giving up.
And he's a guy that knows how to win championships. He has some himself. And this World Supercross title, I mean, is worth $100,000 to the guy that wins it, plus the #1 place.
No question about that. Damon Huffman right now holding on the 4th place position. Right behind him is Sean Hamlin. Huffman started off the year so well consistent, then the injury bug got a hold of him. But Damon Huffman out of Valencia, California, the Honda CRF 450R Motor Triple X Rockwell Honda Blackfoot sponsor, is doing the job right now. And here comes Hamlin once again, the whoop section. And look at that, like a champion, Huffman shuts down his line.
And if he can transfer here, Voss didn't transfer in the first heat, so he still has to get into the main event, which could really help out Damon Huffman here.
Well, the checkered flag is out, and no surprise, it is Chad Reed who picks up a win. And, you know, Chad Reed is just a thorn in my side. He puts you to sleep because he goes off and runs away with this thing. And while we're watching a great battle for 4th, Reed picks up the victory. David Vuillemin will reach 2nd place, so he is in. Byrne's in there, and Damon Huffman holds on a hard-charging Sean Hamlin, so Huffman has done his job. He is in.
Oh, did you see Reed wheeling through the woods?
I was trying to keep my composure. Your winner, Chad Reed, with a little extra to spare. As we take a look at our final standings, 250 heat number 2, it is Chad Reed with the victory, followed by teammate David Vuillemin. Then Michael Byrne and Damon Huffman holds off Sean Hamlin for the final transfer position. Let's send it down to Robbie down on the field.
Well, Chad Reed takes the 250cc heat race. When you're toying with this track, they saw you out there just wheelies on those whoops like it was nothing.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun out here. You know, it's a lot's going on the last 2 days that I was well unaware of, but I'm just having fun with it. And, you know, the track out here is tough. It's, you know, we have some altitude and stuff like that, so the bikes run a little different. And Yamaha has my bike running great, and I'm just looking forward to the main event.
You say it was tough. What kind of problems? What are you thinking out there when you're so far out in front? You're just cruising. What are you thinking about?
Just getting that whole shot and putting 20 clean laps together, and all the people at Yamaha, Thor, Putz Unlimited, Scott, Bridgestone, everyone's making it happen and ready for another win.
All right, thank you very much, Robbie. Upcoming race, the 2004 finale from Sam Boyd Stadium, Las Vegas, Nevada. Join us live if you can on May 1st or watch us on ESPN2. It should be a great show. Right now it's time for this week's Suzuki Question of the Week.
Hi, I'm Jared. I know Andrew Short got hurt at Pontiac. How's he doing?
Hi, my name's Andrew Short, and unfortunately at Pontiac I got a little out of control, went over the berm, and landed on the concrete. My left scaphoid is broke, and it's a navicular bone in my left wrist. Unfortunately, I'm going to be out for 3 months, so I'm looking forward to returning at Redbud. So thanks for asking the Suzuki Question of the Week.
And speedy recovery to Andrew Short. Right now it's time to take a look at our Thor qualifying highlights. In 250 semi number 1, it was lucky Kyle Lewis picking up the victory.
In semi 2, Sean Hamlin took the checkers. And in the LCQ, check it out, Heath Voss making it through.
As we take a look at the Thor qualifying results, Lewis is in by virtue of his victory. Also, Sean Hamlin picks up the win, and the top 5 in both semis move on. In the LCQ, it was Heath Voss and Ezra Lusk getting their tickets punched for the main event. Coming up, it's the 250 main event. Will the high altitude be good to Kevin Windham, or will Chad Reed continue the onslaught on his way to a possible title? Stick around, the main is straight ahead. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah. We're in Rice Eccles Stadium on the campus of the University of Utah, home of the Running Utes football team. But tonight it's all about the THQ World Supercross GP and the THQ AMA Supercross Series. As we get set for the 250 main on a beautiful night, there's number 93, Tommy Hofmaster of Arena Cross fame. Tommy Hofmaster just happens to be our Nissan Rider of the Week.
My name is Tommy Hofmaster from Pearl City, Illinois. I'm 24 years old, and I race the AMA Arena Cross Series, and jumped over and have done the last 4 Supercrosses. Sleepwalker has been my nickname. Dave Derringer actually started it. When I sleep, I get up and act my dreams out, and I've done it since I've been about 14, and I haven't really grown out of it yet, so just kind of stuck with me, and hopefully I can grow out of it. The Supercross guys, they've all been, real cool to me. They kind of help me out. In the off season, we go out to the Yamaha test track and get to test with Chad Reed and Vuillemin and, Ferry and Mike Brown. All them guys are, always out there testing. And, they've always been cool to me. Everybody's kind of helped me out. And, I don't know. I like the Supercross, and, the people in it are real nice. And hopefully someday I can be here.
So we wish Tommy Hofmaster the best as we take a look at the starting grid here in the 250 main event from Salt Lake City, brought to you by Suzuki. Windham, Reed, Nick Way with a great run in his heat race. David Vuillemin's also there, Jason Thomas, Michael Byrne, T.E. Tyler Evans on board and in the house. There's The Rock, Michael LaRocco next to Ryan Clark, James Pavolny Jr.'s in there. And speaking of T.E. Tyler Evans, he is running the helmet cam tonight.
Well, hopefully he can get in the mix early. Great heat race run, and when Tyler's on his game, he's definitely someone that can get up there. I think his best finish was a 6th place in one of the Anaheims, and there's the story right there. What?
Yeah, we'll get into that a little more as the race goes on. The 30 board is sideways. This is 250 main from Salt Lake City. Nick Way to the inside, doesn't have enough juice to get around, and it looks like as Damon Huffman goes by, what do you know? Mr. Yamaha out in front.
Yeah, Tommy Hofmaster.
Nice,
Whoa.
Tommy. Making us look good on the Nissan Rider of the Week profile. Hofmaster, Arena Cross fame. Coming in here and showing the Supercross boys he's got a little something. And behind him, it's Kevin Windham. Back in the pack is Chad Reed, who's back to 8. No. And Hofmaster goes down. Windham inherits the lead. Nick Way behind him. And Voss in 3rd. Next to him, it's Damon Huffman. Both of them battling for the World Supercross GP.
Bumble! That is coffee.
The scenarios, Cameron, are too vast and too expansive to talk about right now. We talked at the top of the show, Chad Reed being docked 25 points in the overall season. That put him 15 points ahead of Kevin Windham with 2 events to go. Yellow flag is out, and look who's out in front, Kevin Windham. Look at it one more time. Here's our Butterfinger hole shot look.
Well, Tommy Hofmaster just got a great jump, and he goes way outside. Almost looks like someone might try to come inside down there, but no one around. Wow, that was unbelievable. But, I mean, from hero to zero in like 3 corners. You see him get a little bit squirrely. Watch the loose dirt. I think he grabs the front brake as he almost gets kicked up over the berm. Nope.
Yeah.
Just gets kicked off that last hump. And
the nose goes right over the berm. His balance just dumped him out. Unfortunate for Tommy Hofmaster, but congratulations on getting the Butterfinger hole shot. Meanwhile, out in front, Kevin Windham is running away with this. He'll have to contend with some yellow flags here. Rider down over there. We'll find out who that is. They're off the track, and that has been a tricky section all night long. Windham able to triple through there, and that is just going to increase his lead. Kevin Windham blitzing through the whoop section. He has the fastest heat time. This should be no surprise, but the scenario is now Chad Reed is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places behind Windham.
Interesting, and one thing that's really sweet right now is Nick Way is in second place, and he's faced there looking for a podium, and well, he's in between Windham and Reed, and that's real important. What's really important for Kevin is he just really finds a rhythm, and sometimes when you're all by yourself, you have a tendency to just back off a little bit, which he can't do. He needs to just stay with it and on the gas, so in case Reed does start moving up, he doesn't start slowing down. We know Kevin has the speed and the skill, and he is definitely one of the fan favorites. They're going nuts right now.
Well, let's take a look at Tommy Hofmaster one more time, number 93. Congratulations, $1,500, and for a privateer, that is fantastic. Hofmaster picking up the Butterfinger hole shot, and there you see the WSX next to Clark. He is in the running for the World Supercross title. There's Damon Huffman also in the running. Thomas and Evans, Tyler Evans had a great run to start things off, but he has faded. But you can really keep track of all the riders on the World Supercross GP, and it looks like we're going to decide this thing in Las Vegas as we look at our leader, Kevin Windham.
And it's really important because if enough guys get in between Huffman and Voss, it can make a huge difference. That's why we have those notations up there. And look at the lead.
Right now, let's send it down to Robbie Floyd, who's trackside.
Well, guys, I talked to Heath Voss just before that last chance qualifier. He never left the floor tonight. He was very concerned, or very attentive to that World Supercross GP point standings. He knew he had to make it a final, and he also said, I'm just now starting to warm up. When it comes main event time, I'm going to be on. And as you can see, he is on right now in third place.
All right, thank you very much, Robbie. He's in third place, but look who is coming. Heath Voss has got a rear view mirror full of the double twos, and that is Chad Reed.
And it's ironic, both those guys racing for the championships, leading their respective series, and right there together, both Yamaha teammates, and Heath looking over, knowing Chad's coming. He just wants to make sure he keeps those points safe, and Chad needs to catch Windham.
Well, Kevin Windham's best friend right now is probably going to be Nick Way, as Nick Way stands between him and Chad Reed. Chad Reed on the gas, literally tonight, legally and all, and he is in third place. Nick Way in second place, and Kevin Windham is your leader, and the pit boards are loading up with all kinds of sayings. We get some of the best material from down there. But Chad Reed, we knew this was going to happen. There's Heath Voss now contending with another rider, and we'll have to find where Damon Huffman is.
And that's David Vuillemin coming up looking for the line. So Vuillemin also gets by. You can see right there. It almost looks like Voss is just cruising.
Oh, we've got some great drama still playing out. Damon Huffman has gone down and back on the track. When we come back, more 250 Main from Salt Lake City. Welcome back to Salt Lake City, Utah. You are looking for the battle for second place. Nick Way, number 27, on board the Suzuki, and here comes 22, Chad Reed on board his Yamaha. Cameron, it's been well documented, the 25 points taken away. Is this the corner where he gets him? Look at Reed, setting it perfectly, not there. But you talked to Chad. What did he say about the points? Was it a big stress to him?
It really didn't sound like it was. I talked to him about the points. He's like, well, I got more to give, you know, just kind of shrugging it off and laughing it off. And I don't know if he was just trying to play cool about it or what, you know, like it's not a big deal. He didn't want anybody to know it's getting under his skin. And look at there, right there, Nick having a little bit of problems, but he seemed cool, calm, and collected. Wow. Look at him go outside in and jump right past Way.
Youngsters watching at home, that's called impeccable exit speed. Chad Reed gets in on the brakes and out right away. Nick Way never saw him coming. So Nick Way slides back to third. Chad Reed now second as he takes a look at Kevin Windham. Unfortunately, Kevin Windham is crossing the start-finish line, and Chad Reed still has about 10 seconds to go. The lap time's extremely fast. Windham has logged a 44-second lap time, and thus the interval almost 15 seconds between him and Chad Reed.
And this one other thing you got to really realize when we're talking about that is it is short laps here. There's not a lot of racing. I mean, some lap times have been as high as 59 seconds in some of the races. Here we're, right now, the fastest lap time that's gone down is a Kevin Windham 44.1. I mean, that is incredible.
As you see the names go by, Damon Huffman sitting in last place. The WSX means they're in the hunt for the World Supercross GP title, and Damon Huffman needed to make the main event to keep Heath Voss from clinching. He's done that. Now he needs to move up, get that pony up in some positions, Cameron, or Heath Voss is going to go there, line up at the main in Vegas, and walk away with that title. And then there's a lot of money as we take a look at Chad Reed.
You say walk away with the title, I'm saying walk away with the check.
Exactly, or run away with it. Here's the battle for third place. Nick Way, who was running in second place, could not hold off Chad Reed. Now he's got another Yamaha in his rearview mirror, and that is David Vuillemin. We saw Vuillemin in heat race run a fantastic race before Chad Reed was able to get him. So it's now Nick Way and David Vuillemin battling for the final podium position.
Well, I would definitely say that David Vuillemin is, I wouldn't say far better rider, but he's always faster. He's smooth. He's polished. Nick is a great rider, but I just don't think he's the caliber of David Vuillemin. And there you go, David going to the inside. And wow, yeah, popping off that tabletop. And there's his mechanic, Bad Billy Phelps, trying to pump him up a little bit, saying, come on, let's get the podium. I mean, that would be so huge for those guys.
9 to go. Breathe. There's a tendency of Nick Way to get too amped up. But I do like Nick Way staying within striking distance of Vuillemin. David Vuillemin, a lot of people say when he gets towards the last laps, he starts to slow down, whether it's mental or physical, I do not know. But David Vuillemin, as you pointed out, is a fantastic rider, extremely smooth. Nick Way needs to stay in striking distance. If Vuillemin does start to slow down, Nick can make a move.
And we've talked a lot about the silly season, or like I said, the fishing season for sponsors. And Nick's one of those riders that doesn't have a ride yet for next year. And a lot of Supercross talk about, you know, next year already. We haven't got to the outdoors. And the new season always seems to come up so fast. And Nick's a guy that could really use a great ride right now.
No question about that. Nick Way starting to lose touch with David Vuillemin. David Vuillemin currently running in third place on board the 12 Yamaha. Vuillemin originally from France, now making his home in California, Myriad on the Yamaha YZ250 Yamaha Motor Corp Bridgestone sponsored ride. As we have got about 7 laps to go, and Windham continues. He is not fading, Cameron, as we take a look at Nick Way one more time.
Yeah, Nick Way, the other thing to point out is he's just outside the top 5, just behind Michael Byrne, who's a couple of places behind him in the running order right now. And look at Windham right now.
This could be a problem. He's now coming up on lap riders. Does he slow his pace? Do they get out of his way? Because we know how fast Chad Reed is. If he gets hung up with lap riders, Chad has a way of sneaking into the picture with 6 laps to go.
Well, we've seen guys get hung up this year, and I think Kevin might be a little more vicious if it comes down to it right now with only 2 races to go and really not that many points away. I mean, anything can happen at Las Vegas. Chad could have a problem, or even here still yet. So you can't throw in the towel. And Windham just technician on that one whoop section. Then the bigger whoops, he's still skimming the top. You see him dropping up and down a little bit. But there's his mechanic, Jonathan Highland, giving some love.
Well, Kevin Windham right there rides very smooth. I'd love to see his face underneath the helmet. But Windham out there doing a great job, doing exactly what he has to do. If he wins and Chad Reed finishes in second, he picks up 3 points. We go to Vegas, and it's a 13-point swing. So nothing is done until we get to the desert next weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. But right now, Kevin Windham says he likes the track, loves Salt Lake City, and right now Salt Lake City loves him because he is putting on a show. Windham out in front as we go on board the helmet cam of Tyler Evans, unable to double there, takes a look over. Back to Salt Lake City in just a moment. Take a look at your running order. This is the 250 main. An event that started in 1998 is fast approaching its 7th year as the sport's annual kickoff showcase. The Maxxis U.S. Open, October 8th to the 10th, will feature all of your favorite stars on their new factory rides for the first time ever. Can defending champion Chad Reed hold off Ricky Carmichael, James Stewart, and the rest of the field? It's only a few short months away before the bikes invade the MGM Grand Garden Arena, October 8th to the 10th, Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome back to Rice Eccles Stadium, Salt Lake City, Utah, the penultimate event in this, the 2004 Supercross season. Your leader, Kevin Windham, out in front, not being threatened right now as we shift back to the battle for 4th place. And Nick Way, after running in second for so long, now has his rearview mirrors full of guys like Mike LaRocco, and that's never, Cameron, a good thing, as Kevin Windham continues to motor around on that big 4-stroke.
And I'm just really watching Windham, how smooth and everything just seems to be dialed. You see him unweighting his bike, throwing the foot off the side there, and he's just been teching. There's that battle. Actually, LaRocco's already by, so that's no longer a battle. Nick Way has slipped back to 5th place. Still a great finishing position. If I'm not mistaken, his best finish on the season. But he wants to keep on the gas. His teammate, Sean Hamlin, on the 36 Suzuki is coming up behind him as well.
Well, Chad Reed about 14 seconds still behind Kevin Windham, so barring an accident by Kevin Windham, it doesn't look like Chad's going to catch him. As we said, that brings the lead down to 13 points as we go to the final event in Las Vegas, Nevada. Should be a great one. Get your tickets now. Join us. If you can't, check it out on ESPN2 as we look at the battle for 5th now, and Nick Way has got to stop sliding back, Cameron. He's got to move up.
I'm not sure. You know, you'd think that maybe he tensed up and just started not riding his own race and thinking about where he was, the guys behind him. But I've been watching, and right there, sliding around, that's a problem. But he's been fairly tacked. So I'm not sure what it is, but Hamlin's going right to the inside here.
Left the door wide open. So number 36, Sean Hamlin, also on board of Suzuki, goes right past Nick Way, and Nick Way is shuffled back yet another position. Unfortunate for him, he's now in 6th. He was running in 2nd place. And as pit board said it all, they said, breathe, Nick. 9 more to go. So do you question his fitness, or do you question just being out in front and being comfortable running out in front?
I definitely don't question the fitness of Nick Way. I mean, he is a fit guy. Saw him ride the stationary bike today. And what really kills me is he took like forever, 5 corners to get by Craig Anderson, who's a lapper. Hamlin comes up and just swoops past both of them. I think maybe just need to keep his mind in the attack and just moving forward.
So Sean Hamlin now sits in 6th position, and Hamlin having a great run tonight. Went through the semis to get here out of Murrieta, California, the Suzuki RM250, American Suzuki Motorcore and Dunlop sponsored bike number 36. We've talked about it before. Had the Lasix done this, but this is a guy that continues to make strides in improving. Speaking of improving, how do you improve on the ride that Kevin Windham has had tonight? Number 14 on the final lap here in Salt Lake City, Utah. The fans are on their feet. For some reason, he just seems to appeal to fans all across the country, whether it's Dallas, Atlanta, or Salt Lake City. As we go through the rundown one more time, there are the guys running. Heath Voss in 7th place on the day, and he is battling at the World Supercross GP. 1st place for him, and he will be looking at that next week as we go to Las Vegas. But the night really belongs to that man. Number 14, Kevin Windham. He came out, probably got the loudest applause of anyone else here in Salt Lake City.
He's a bad dude. I mean, he's just so good on the bike. And right here, he has 4th win on the season.
Your winner, 250 main, number 14, Kevin Windham. Wow. Talk about answering your critics. The pressure really was, I think, on him because a lot of people thought, oh, Chad's been caught doing something he shouldn't have. Wyndham's got to pounce now. And I think everyone expected him to win, and he came out and did just that. Chad Reed with a great run will finish in 2nd place. And as the rest of the field comes through, you can just see these two guys have moved so far out in front. But your winner tonight, Kevin Windham. Chad Reed comes over, congratulates him, says, you know what, I'll see you in Vegas, and we'll settle it in the desert. When we come back, we'll talk to our winner and the other members of the podium, give you the pertinent numbers when we return to Salt Lake City, Utah. We're getting down to Vegas. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. Supercross on ESPN2 is being brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. By MX Unleashed, available now for PlayStation 2 and Xbox. And by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. Welcome back to Salt Lake City. This was the scene moments ago. Tommy Hofmaster with a great start. Picks up the Butterfinger hole shot, a check for $1,500. Unfortunately, was unable to keep it rubber side down for the entire race, and he faded back in the pack. As we take a look at our Honda results in the 250 main event, your winner, Kevin Windham, followed by Chad Reed. David Vuillemin joins them on the podium. Mike LaRocco charging, as always, up to 4th. Nick Way had a great run, ends up in 6th. There's Heath Voss in 7th. That's important for the World Supercross GP. Jason Thomas rounds out your top 10. Kyle Lucky Lewis gets in there for 12th. Tyler Evans, TE, goes 14th. And Tyson Hadsell rounds out the top 17. Right now, let's set it down to Mr. Robbie Floyd.
Well, David Vuillemin, Chad Reed, 3rd and 2nd place, respectively. And I was trying to tell the guys up there, watch him on that step up. You were the only guys doing it, and you moved into the third spot on that one jump.
It was a good line, you know, instead of jump on, jump off, I was rolling first one and jump two out. You know, it was good because I was the intern line, and I passed a few guys there, and, you know, I wish I had a better start, and, you know, Chad was with me mid-pack, and it was tough to do better with Kevin in front, and he took off, and, you know, I'm happy to be in the box tonight, and, you know, I want to thank Yamaha and Bridgestone to give me the good equipment tonight, and all the guys at Fly Racing, Shark Helmet, City Boots, and Dragon Goggles.
Congratulations on the podium. The man who finished second spot. And I'm telling you, he's upset with himself right now. I mean, you're dejected. You took second spot. You've not finished off the podium all year, but you only settled for first place.
No, definitely. You know, I worked really hard, and Kevin rode a great race tonight. You know, you got to give credit when credit's due, and got a great start, and that's what it took this weekend. You know, you needed to get a good start, and can't give Kevin that much room. And you know, I just rode as hard as I could, you know, all the way to the end, and you know, I want to thank my team for giving me a great bike, all the guys at Bridgestone, Thor, Putt Unlimited, and the fans. You know, it's been a tough weekend, and we'll go to Vegas and try and wrap up the title.
Good job on second place.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
It all culminates next week. The road to Las Vegas, the official destination of Supercross. As we take a look at our point standings as we get set for Las Vegas. On the AMA side, it is Chad Reed on top by 13 points. And on the World Supercross GP side, Heath Voss has extended his lead, but it should be very close. We've had precedences where a guy has lost a championship on the last event. Right now, let's send it down to Robbie Floyd.
Well, Kevin Windham takes his 4th win of the year in the 250cc class. Where were you so much faster than everybody else? Because this looked like your race to win.
Well, I've been working hard on my corners, and, you know, of course, having the great Honda and factory connection, everybody underneath me and supporting me has been a great help. But Chad's been wonderful for me for a lot of weekends now. I've been watching a lot of videotape and watching him ride, watching his heats, and I've been learning. And I feel like I'm as fast as I've been all season right now, and it's never been a better time for me, especially going in the outdoors. And now with this new points chase, it's suddenly gotten really close.
You know, I didn't think you were the most optimistic coming into today, but you know what? You got a smile on your face. You know that there's a chance that you could win this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And what better place to go and try to wrap it up in Vegas? You know, odd things happen there, and it's a gambling town, and we're going there trying to win it big.
250 Supercross concludes next week in Las Vegas, Nevada. Showtime Sunday, May 2nd, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. Can Chad Reed hold off Kevin Windham with his 12-point lead? You'll definitely want to tune in. On behalf of Robbie Floyd and Cameron Steele, I'm Todd Harris saying good night from Salt Lake City, Utah. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Your winner from Salt Lake, Kevin Windham.